Have you ever stopped to think that maybe you're not as alone as you think? What I'm going to tell you now can completely change the way you perceive the environment around you. Imagine being in your home, in the comfort of an ordinary day, and suddenly noticing things that seem different. We're not talking about objects moving on their own or something that looks like horror movies. It's something much more subtle, but at the same time, deeply transformative. It may seem crazy to some, but to others it's a clear reality. Signs that angels may be present in your life, in your home right now. No, you don't need to be a super spiritual person to understand. These signs are all around us. We just need to learn to identify them. And the most incredible thing is that they appear in the moments when we need them most. Have you ever felt this? The question is, are you paying attention? Maybe you felt something and ignored it, believing it was just a coincidence or even a figment of your imagination. But what if it isn't? What if these signs are true and are trying to communicate to you something much greater than you can understand at this moment? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I will show you details that can transform your perception of the spiritual world. Imagine this. You are having a difficult day, feeling like everything is going wrong. The weight of your worries feels overwhelming, and then out of nowhere, a peace comes over you. It is not an ordinary peace. It is almost palpable. You feel as if you are being embraced by something you cannot see but is clearly present. Have you ever felt something like this? This is one of the most profound and inexplicable signs of the presence of angels. Many describe it as a tranquility so intense it almost defies logic. It's as if, for a moment, the chaos around disappeared, and all that was left was the certainty that everything was going to be okay. And here is the most curious point. This peace does not come out of nowhere. It appears in moments of greatest pain or confusion. Just when you think you're on the verge of losing control, something changes. Science may try to explain it as a chemical reaction in the brain, but what if it's more than that? The Bible mentions this feeling of peace several times. In Philippians 4, for example, we are reminded that the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. Do you notice? It's not just any feeling, it's a divine gift, a form of invisible protection. Now I want you to imagine another scene. You're walking around the house, perhaps thinking about something trivial, when suddenly you notice something unexpected. A white feather lying on the floor, or in a place where it simply shouldn't be. You have no birds around. There were no open windows. Where did this feather come from? For many, this is a physical sign that angels are around them. It's as if they leave little clues, subtle reminders that we are not alone. Think about it. How common is it to find a feather in a totally unlikely location? There is an interesting story in the Bible in Hebrews 1 that describes angels as ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation. That's exactly it. They are here to help us, protect us, and sometimes to remind us of their presence through small gestures like this. Some believe that finding a feather is more than just chance. It's a call to attention, a reminder that there is something much bigger watching over you, even when you don't realize it, and it doesn't stop there. Another sign that often goes unnoticed is the presence of unexplained lights. Have you ever seen a flash of light that has no apparent source? Maybe a small, glowing sphere in the corner of the room, or a soft glow that seems to come out of nowhere. This may seem strange, but many people report seeing lights of this type in times of prayer or great emotional need. It is almost as if these lights are physical manifestations of the angelic presence. In the Bible, there are several reports of lights accompanying the appearance of angels. In Acts 12, for example, when the angel appears to free Peter from prison, the light that accompanies him is described as something glorious, almost impossible to ignore. This type of phenomenon is not exclusive to the pages of Scripture. At important moments in their lives, many people report seeing these lights, always accompanied by a feeling of comfort or security. And if you think that's all, wait. There are times when the signals are even more subtle, but no less powerful. Has it ever happened to you that you smell a sweet, almost heavenly smell, without a logical explanation? A scent of flowers, incense, or something that you can't describe, but that brings you an immediate feeling of peace? This is another classic sign that angels are present. These aromas can appear suddenly, during moments of prayer or even in common everyday moments. They are a reminder of divine connection, a way to show us that we are not alone. Are you beginning to realize how these signs can go unnoticed in the rush of everyday life? They are there, waiting to be noticed. But often, we are so distracted by our worries and routines that we fail to see what is right in front of us. Therefore, I want to invite you, pay attention. The next time you feel an inexplicable peace, find a white feather, or notice a sweet smell with no apparent origin, don't ignore it. And here's the most important thing. These signs are not just curiosities or coincidences. They are invitations to a deeper connection with the divine, a reminder that you are loved, protected, and never truly alone. And this perception, as simple as it may seem, can completely transform the way you see your life and the world around you. Stay tuned, because perhaps the angels are already giving you signs right now. And if you want to discover more about how they communicate and how to identify these sacred moments, stay with me because we're just beginning to explore something truly extraordinary. Have you started to notice the signs around you? Because if you haven't already, let's dive deeper now. The truth is that angels have extraordinary ways of manifesting themselves in our lives, and we often ignore these subtle gestures. But when we learn to recognize them, we begin to realize that we're not just going about our daily lives. We're being cared for by something much bigger. Think about how many times you have experienced something inexplicable. Maybe a time when I should have been scared, but I wasn't. Or a situation where you felt a presence next to you, even though no one was there. This may not just be a coincidence. Let's talk now about 2 signs that could be clear evidence that you are being accompanied by divine forces. Imagine sitting on your couch, reading a book, or just looking out the window when something catches your eye. A sudden glow. It's not the reflection of a lamp, nor the sun hitting the glass. It's an inexplicable flash, a soft light that seems to come out of nowhere. Maybe you've seen something like this and dismissed it as impression or in your head. But is it really? These flashes of light, or even small luminous orbs, are often associated with an angelic presence. In the Bible, in Luke 2, when the angel appeared to the shepherds to announce the birth of Jesus, the glory of the Lord shone around them, illuminating the darkness of that night. What does this mean for us? That lights can be a reflection of the divine, a way for angels to tell us that they are there, caring, protecting, and guiding us. And the most fascinating thing is that many people report seeing these lights at crucial moments, perhaps during fervent prayer, or when facing a difficult situation. It is as if the environment changes, bringing not only a physical manifestation, but a feeling of comfort and protection. If you've ever seen something like this, maybe it wasn't just your imagination. Now, let's talk about another sign that many people experience but almost never associate with the presence of angels: sudden changes in temperature. Has it ever happened to you that you feel inexplicably cold, even though you are in a hot environment? Or perhaps the opposite, a welcoming warmth, as if you are being enveloped by something invisible? These phenomena are also among the most classic signs of angelic presence. In the Bible, we find reports of how God and his messengers manifest themselves through natural elements. In the case of the prophet Elijah, for example, God revealed himself not in a strong wind, nor in an earthquake, nor in fire, but in a gentle whisper. This teaches us that divine manifestations can be subtle, almost imperceptible, but loaded with meaning. Imagine being in a moment of reflection, or even in the middle of a trivial conversation, and suddenly feeling a slight chill. Not a cold that bothers you, but something that catches your attention, as if someone were by your side. These moments may seem simple, but for those who pay attention, they are clear signs that something special is happening. On the other hand, some people report a feeling of comforting warmth during prayer or meditation. It is as if they are enveloped by an invisible hug, a welcoming energy that seems to dispel all fear and uncertainty. This is the essence of the divine, a presence that needs no words to remind us that we are protected. And now, one of the most beautiful and mysterious signs of all. Imagine being in your home, completely immersed in routine, when suddenly you notice a sweet, heavenly aroma. There are no flowers nearby, no candles lit, or anything to explain that smell. It could be the scent of a field of flowers, the gentle scent of incense, or something you've never smelled before, but is somehow familiar. These inexplicable aromas have a deep meaning. In the Bible, perfumes are directly linked to the sacred. In Exodus 30, God instructs Moses to prepare a special incense as a symbol of his presence. These smells were used to mark moments of divine connection, a reminder that God is near. And today, when we smell these unexplained aromas, it's as if we receive a similar message. An angel may be at our side, but the most incredible thing is the impact these smells have. It's not just a scent, it's an experience. Many people report feeling an immediate peace when they notice these smells, as if their worries were temporarily silenced. And, interestingly, these aromas often appear during moments of prayer, meditation, or even in situations of great emotional need. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt accompanied, even when you are alone? We're not talking about a feeling of fear, but something comforting, as if an invisible presence was there to protect you. This is one of the deepest and most emotional signs of angelic presence. The Bible assures us in Psalm 91 that God will give orders to his angels to guard you in all your ways. This verse is a powerful reminder that we are never truly alone. Even in the darkest moments, there are invisible forces working on our behalf. Many people report incredible experiences of feeling this presence. It could be during a time of great sadness or even in a situation of imminent danger. It's as if an invisible hand is there, holding yours, assuring you that you will be safe. For some, it's just a feeling. For others, it's almost physical, a feeling of warmth or touch that's impossible to ignore. And here's the secret. These signs aren't reserved for special people. They are available to anyone willing to pay attention. The key is to be present, aware of your surroundings, and receptive to what the angels may be trying to communicate to you. As we move forward, I want you to reflect on everything we've talked about so far. These signs are not coincidences. These are gestures of care, of love, of protection. They are constant reminders that even on the hardest of days, you are never truly alone. But this is just the beginning. There is still much more to be explored about how these divine messengers interact with us. So, keep paying attention. What comes next may open your eyes even further to the invisible presence that surrounds you. Now that we've explored the most obvious signs that angels are around you, it's time to go further. Because it's not enough to just recognize these signs. There is a greater purpose behind them. They don't appear by chance, they have a meaning, a message, something that you need to understand and apply in your life. Imagine you are walking in a peaceful woodland, hearing the rustle of leaves beneath your feet, feeling the gentle wind on your face. Suddenly you find a trail that wasn't there before, as if it had appeared just to guide you. This is the essence of angelic signs. They show us the way when we are lost. They offer direction when life seems chaotic. Think about how many times you face situations where you didn't know what to do. A problem at work, a difficult decision, or even a moment of profound loneliness. And then, something happens. Not a grand miracle, but something subtle. An idea that comes out of nowhere, a person that crosses your path, or even a feeling of certainty that you can't explain. These moments are more than coincidences. They are orchestrated. Did you know that angels often use seemingly ordinary events to guide us? They work behind the scenes, synchronizing the events of our lives in ways we can only realize when we look back. Has it ever happened that you were thinking about something and then found exactly what you needed in a book, a song, or even a casual conversation? This synchronicity is one of the most powerful methods that angels use to guide us. There is an account in the Bible that exemplifies this perfectly. In the book of Acts, Philip is guided by an angel to follow a deserted road without knowing exactly why. There, he finds an Ethiopian reading the book of Isaiah, but without understanding what was written. Felipe then explains the meaning of the words, and at that moment the Ethiopian decides to be baptized. See how every detail was perfectly synchronized. If Felipe had ignored the angel's call, this story would never have happened. These moments of synchronicity also happen to us. Maybe you're searching for answers right now, feeling lost or confused about your next step. And then, something like this video crosses your path, bringing exactly the message you needed to hear. This is more than a simple coincidence. It is a sign that you are being guided. But angels don't just show the way. They also provide comfort and strength in times when we need it most. I want you to imagine a difficult situation you have faced. Maybe a loss, a disappointment, or a moment when you felt like you couldn't go on. Now think about what happened next. Maybe you felt an inexplicable peace, found strength you didn't know you had, or received help in an unexpected way. This is the work of angels. They are by our side, even if we can't see them. And don't think you need to do something extraordinary to deserve this help. Angels are present at all times, regardless of who you are or what you have done. They don't judge. They only help, guide, and protect. As Psalm 91 says, God will command his angels to watch over you in all your ways. This promise is for all of us. Now, I want you to reflect on one thing. Why do these signs appear? What is their purpose? It's not just to protect us or comfort us. They are a constant reminder that we are part of something much bigger. They invite us to live with more purpose, more connection, more faith. Angels show us that we are not alone, but they also call us to action. They guide us, but it is up to us to take the steps. They offer comfort, but it is up to us to seek peace in our choices. Each sign is an opportunity to reconnect with the divine, to strengthen your faith, and to live more fully and consciously. And here's the deeper truth about angelic signs. They don't just accompany us, they also inspire us to be like them, bringing more light, peace, and love to the world. Because in the end, we are all part of the same divine purpose. So the next time you feel an inexplicable peace, find a white feather, notice a mysterious light, or smell a sweet scent in the air, remember this: you are being cared for, guided, and loved. Don't ignore these moments. Be thankful for them. Use them as a reminder that you are never alone and that there is a greater purpose for your life. If you've made it this far, I want to invite you to something special. Set aside a moment in your day to observe. Pay attention to the small details, the subtle feelings, the events that seem simple but carry something extraordinary. And when you notice one of these signs, stop, take a deep breath, and be grateful. Because in that moment, you are more connected to the divine than you realize. And that is the beauty of the journey. Recognize that even in the simplest things, there is something sacred. Even on the most ordinary days, there are miracles waiting to be discovered. And even in the toughest fights, there are unseen forces fighting for you. Keep paying attention. The signs are there all around you, waiting to be noticed. And what will you do with it? That answer is up to you.